What's up, y'all? This is your main man, Big Griff. Welcome to the Hot Mic Podcast. I'm here in the studio. I got my main man, Kev. And we also here with my man, B.
B.
So, before we get started, I'm going to set off this podcast here with a quote. We have an anonymous author, and the quote starts like this. A head full of fears has no space for dreams. A head full of fears has no space for dreams. All right, so go ahead and think about that one. Apply it to your life however you can. The main thing is don't let your fears control your dreams. All right, we got a hot topic today. I'm going to go ahead and let Kev break it down for you guys.
All right, so we like to have a main topic every show. Our main topic today is, I'm kind of going with the sports theme today, so y'all going to see that in a little bit. But the main topic, should college athletes get paid, but at the Division I level? We're not talking D2, D3, NCAA. We're talking D1, NCAA. Overall, all athletes, tennis, soccer, basketball, football, baseball, whoever you are at the D1 level, do you deserve to get paid for what you do?
You're saying all sports?
All sports at the D1 level. Lacrosse, all these sports. I'm going to let B take over. He's going to start off. Then we're going to go. We're going to go with it.
Alright, should college athletes get paid at D1 level? If you're a college golfer, if you're a tennis player, swimmer, should you be evenly paid throughout? I think it should be dispersed throughout everyone. Depends on what rank you are in football, basketball, whatever. If you're a bench player, you should get paid as much as the starter, leading scorer in the Division I league.
I think that the common argument is, especially from the NCAA, would be that you get a college scholarship worth about $80,000 for free, plus room and board. Now, I think that the controversy would be, who do you pay, like you just brought up? Do you pay starters more than you pay bench players? The reason why I think
or you pay everybody the same.
Right. The reason I think you should pay everyone the same is not everyone's John Wall or Peyton Manning or well, maybe not Tom Brady, because he went like the last round of the NFL draft. But not everyone's going pro. If you supplement the income for these bench players, or whatever you want to call them, these players that aren't going to go pro, if you give them an income, it allows them to start saving to build for their future.
Okay.
Plus, you can't justify letting college athletes starve in their dorm rooms because they don't have enough money for food.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
When you're making billions. Literally,
well, the school's making billions, and then you got some big-time coaches
making
billions.
The NCAA is making billions, and they're saying that you can't. The NCAA as a whole is saying you can't pay them, while their revenues through the roof because of these John Walls in the NCAA, or these Lonzo Balls. These people who are just making money. Arian Foster was a great example at Tennessee. So
I did remember reading something. Arian Foster made a statement. There was times where he was hungry in his dorm room, and even though this is a NCAA violation, his coach called his coach up and like, hey, can you bring over some food for us because we're hungry?
Yeah, his coach got him tacos.
And his coach got them tacos or something.
And can you believe that he loses eligibility for that if they get caught?
Yeah, it's kind of a catchy line right there, because here's my standpoint.
And
I'm a former Division I athlete. I played at Florida State. I played basketball at Florida State, but I didn't get paid. I mean, but I never felt like I was not taken care of either, though.
Right.
I wasn't the star athlete on my team. Not saying I should have been or not, but I just think that should they have gotten paid? Should we have gotten paid? Sure. Why not?
Right.
I mean, like you said, not every single athlete on that team is going to go professional. And then at the same time, you got the guys that are going professional, they're getting looked out a little bit more than the guys that are not going professional.
Right.
So, I mean, if you were to pay everybody, I say yes, I say pay them. But if you were to pay everybody, let's say you pay them $30,000 a year, pay them $30,000 a year, and basically they can do whatever they want with the money that they earned in the college, because it's a full-time job. It really is. You're really busy.
Yeah, I ran college track in the NAIA, not even the NCAA, and we're talking 40-hour weeks.
Oh yeah.
Practices a night. You ain't eating dinner because you got to run. You got to practice on your own. And then you got track meets all day on the weekends, every day of the weekend.
You got your meetings. You got your study hall.
Mm-hmm.
You got film. You got weight room. You got individual training. Then you got your team training. And then you got film, if I didn't say that already. Then you have your
classes.
Meet and greets.
Because you have to go to classes.
Right. Then you
have to arrive at the class and attend classes.
Then you have your classes on top of all that. So,
right.
I mean, it's really a busy ordeal. I mean, you're not just showing up like, hey, I got practice and I'm free the rest of the day. No, it's
right.
a lot more that goes into it. I mean, B, you played golf.
Right. So, like, how was that? Was golf, because track and basketball maybe a little bit more demanding than track, but for sure track was an everyday, all weekend type of thing. What was golf like? Do you feel like you guys did enough to deserve pay? Because I don't know anything about college golf.
All right, going about golf, track, I see track, you can go from outdoor track to indoor track, and it's a yearly thing. But golf, you have to, depending on the weather, so once the weather comes out, then yes, the demanding is basketball and golf. You got Monday through Friday practice, Saturday, Sunday on your own, because you're a college athlete, so you go on your own, practice your own. So I think the top D1 golfers or any D1 golfers should get paid as much as top D1 basketball athletes and the track athletes.
Okay, so here's my thing. When it comes to other sports, now, do you pay those players less because that sport is bringing in less revenue for the school? So, for example, we have college football. We all know college football at the Division I level is bringing in the most money for each college, especially these large colleges, Alabama,
right,
Florida State, LSU, and so on and so forth. Now, they're bringing in billions for the school. Now, do you pay them players on that football team $40,000 a year, and then on the basketball team, let's say they're not making as much, but they're still bringing in revenue, you pay them $30,000. Then the hockey team or lacrosse team, you pay them $15,000 because they're not reaching the crowd substantial as all these other sports. Would that be considered fair? Or is that unfair? See, that's what you get into when you start paying these athletes at the amateur level.
You can take it over, B. You can answer this one. I got my own answer in a sec. So.
I think it depends on, like you said, basketball, college football. Depending on how much they bring in, they should disperse that among the football athletes. Then for golf, they bring in, say, $10 million, then disperse that. So depending on how much they bring in the sport, individual sport brings in, pay them, the athletes, accountable for the revenue they bring in.
See, I would argue that we just do away with any of that. And I would make the argument that the NCAA acts as a branding agency for the college athlete. By brand agency, what they do now, but you don't give them tuition, I think that what you do is you pay them what they're worth, each individual person. So, Lonzo Ball, projected second overall pick in the draft, I think you pay him a salary for 4 years.
Right.
And then you help him build his brand while teaching them money, while teaching them about property, how to do taxes. You teach them these things that are going to help them out when they graduate, and then you just you make the salary enough that they can pay their own tuition to the school and then some.
See, here's my problem with that. Because once you start individualizing or individually branding players, what's the difference between professional and amateur? Because then they're going to start, this he's at UCLA, he's been here 2 years, and he's already got Nike on him. Because he's got his own brand.
We have high schoolers with Nike on them and Adidas on them.
An example of that would
be
Johnny
but the
Manziel.
players are not getting paid individual. Exactly.
Right, but we're talking about, let's use the Ohio State incident where they're signing autographs. Okay, and they have to lose 4 games out of the year, and then Ohio State suffers. So I think if they don't have that rule, they don't sit out. Ohio State makes money, the NCAA makes money, and they make money without having to worry about losing eligibility. Then you have someone enter the draft early who's not ready for the draft, and they wash out in the NFL because they missed 4 games, and they would have been suspended, so they just enter the draft.
Okay, so what happens with those players that are already under, let's say you got a Nike guy in college, or actually because UCLA is Adidas, right?
I think
So let's say he's got an Adidas deal already, because that's getting into another topic. The school's already branded by a certain sponsor, like Nike, Florida State. You know, you got Under Armour at I think it's
right, but that's fine because it's
different colleges, whatever. But
it's the same argument because different brands are branding AAU teams and high
that's
school
different
teams.
though. So
LeBron James was sponsored by Adidas, and he still signed with Nike when he went to the pros.
Exactly.
So,
but if you start individually branding these guys, okay, let's take this Lorenzo Ball kid for example. Now, let's say a Nike wants to sign him, but right now he's in school, and he's with a school that's Adidas. He can't wear Nike right now, but he also can't be getting.
The conflict of interest is there.
Of course, it's going to be a conflict of interest because he can't do Nike commercials until he's done with school. So that's why I don't think you should individually start paying like, hey, this guy's worth this and this and this.
But that's already happening. Because, like, for example,
it's under the table though.
For example, the track team was sponsored by Nike when I ran.
Right.
The basketball team was sponsored by Jordan.
Okay.
The school itself was a Nike sponsor, but Jordan's an off-brand of Nike, so well, not an off-brand, but he's his own sub.
Brand.
Yeah, sub. So I think that it's okay for you to have that person sponsored by Nike, just as if they were in high school, and then they can choose where they sign out of the pros, because that's basically just Nike investing in that person, hoping they sign a long-term when they go pro, like Adidas did with LeBron by sponsoring his whole team.
That's when they go pro though.
No,
but as far as
when
college,
LeBron was in high school, they sponsored the whole team, hoping that Sonny Vaccaro was hoping that Adidas would sign him.
Right.
At the last minute, he signs with Nike.
Right.
Which is okay. So I think that if you have a good enough player, a LeBron James-esque player, not at that caliber, obviously, because no one's at that caliber, but if you have someone who's really good, the entire team will probably be sponsored by that brand that wants to sponsor that one player.
Oh, I get you.
Right.
So you're saying that player.
So I'm saying like Carmelo Anthony at Syracuse, that whole team would have been sponsored by probably whoever wanted to sign him to a shoe deal after.
Which is Nike.
Which eliminates the conflict of interest of the school, because you can have a Jordan Michigan football team and a Nike Michigan basketball team, and you're opening up to more money being made by all these companies.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily work like that. Most of the time, these colleges, when they sign a contract with Nike or Under Armour or Adidas or whoever, they're signing deals for years. It's like a 5-year deal. So it's most of the time it's longer than the kid is even at the college. And portion of that money goes to the coaches.
Now, what do you think, B? What do you think?
About I guess something with the Manziel part goes what you guys were branding on this one individual player. So if you would have branded Manziel in college and then all the other athletes to get the same sponsor brand, like how Manziel turned out, it went head over hand or whatever that saying is. Too much money for him. Turned out to be worse since he's like, okay, I'm just gonna lay back and play my football and be decent at it and still be getting paid, even though they were maybe winning at some games. Then he took to NFL, and then that's how we're from there. Now he's nowhere now.
So the argument is the money, which is why I said when you do this, you have courses to teach them how to manage money. If Manziel has a course on how to manage money, I think that he succeeds a little bit better in the NFL.
I don't think that's Manziel's case. I think Manziel's case was partying.
Even if we take Manziel out of it.
Manziel, he came from money, so money wasn't a factor to him.
So what if we use we'll take it back.
Well, let's just go here though.
Okay,
To piggyback off of what B just said. So you believe that giving some of these players too much amount of money too soon can also ruin their career because they just don't know how to handle it, right?
That's why we teach them how to handle it. Perfect example. Let's take it back. Like I'm gonna go off your point too. I'm gonna take it back. I'm not using Johnny Manziel because he was rich. I'm gonna use Chris Webber at Michigan. Came from nothing. Detroit Country Day. It was Detroit Country Day, right?
Right.
All right. So comes from nothing. Comes from the streets. Juwan Howard comes from the streets. Jalen Rose streets. These guys come from nothing. So if you pay them, the reason they went pro, the reason Chris Webber, and he says it. Well, he's not on the documentary, but the Fat Five documentary says. He was annoyed by looking at his jersey sales and not getting revenue from it, so he goes pro to make money. If you're already paying Chris Webber and you sponsor the Fab Five, which they were sponsored by Nike at the time, I believe, then you don't have to worry about Chris Webber. You can make money off Chris Webber, which is what you want to do. This is what you were doing. He can make money. The school can make money, and the NCAA can make money, and everyone's happy if you let them be their own brand.
You think they're going to stay in college longer because they're getting paid $30,000 a year?
I think that if they're going to get a college education, and statistically that enhances, by paying them, that enhances their
Potential to stay.
I think that you should look into ways to do that. And this is, I think, a good way, is by making them their own brand and allowing them to be essentially not controlled by the institution, which would be the college that they go to, but the NCAA itself would act as an agent to get their brand out there as a player. And you're teaching them how to deal with contracts when they go pro, because they're going to already have dealt with that in college. LeBron James is a good businessman, because LeBron James has been a businessman since he was 14.
I don't know if he was a businessman. I think LeBron James just had the talent to get put in the right places, and the right people came to him because
Right, okay.
he had the best opportunities coming at him because of his talent.
Right.
But that was pretty good. I like that. I think we hit on some key points. But
Cool.
Moving on, let's talk about the trade that just went down in the NBA between the Sacramento Kings, DeMarcus Cousins, and the New Orleans Pelicans. So I feel like DeMarcus Cousins was blindsided by the situation.
I think he's happy about the situation.
You think he's happy?
I think he's ecstatic.
I think you're being very sarcastic.
No, I really do think he's happy. What do you think, B?
Sarcastic it is.
It's not sarcasm. It's
Going to
real.
the- going to
I'm
the-
going to tell you why, too, in a minute.
Going to the Pelicans, what is this, him and AD? No point guard, no rest of the team, nobody. to
Exactly.
Drew Holiday.
with.
Drew Holiday.
Who?
Rookie of the year at Philadelphia. Or was that Michael Carter Williams?
I don't know, but that doesn't.
Drew Holiday is an all-star. He just needs people around him.
They're 11th in the West right now. If they get to the 8th,
No, he's
who
gonna
they got?
take
They
them.
got the Warriors in the first round.
DeMarcus, all right.
Done.
Yeah.
They're
All
done.
Whatever. Let me tell you, since I'm under fire here. You're DeMarcus Cousins. The first time in your 7-year career you won 33 games last year. That's the most games you won in your career.
Right.
You haven't made the playoffs. You have no talent. You want to talk about no talent in New Orleans? You have no talent in Sacramento. And why is because they were willing to get Buddy Hield, who's garbage right now, inconsistent, and
He's
has a
young.
21 point. But he's not worth DeMarcus Cousins. Tyreek Evans is injury prone.
Tyreek Evans, did he play? He got drafted to Sacramento, didn't
Yeah, and he's been
he? I
terrible.
remember
for
that. That was
Sacramento.
right after me.
So what I think here is he's happy to leave because he's going to an Al Gentry, who coached with the Warriors as a head assistant to Steve Kerr, who won an NBA Finals. He now has Anthony Davis, who played with him at the biggest thing with DeMarcus Cousins is who's going to check him when he's out of hand, and why not it be the recent All-Star Game MVP, a league MVP candidate, if he wins more games. And you've never even made it past 33 games in the season. He's ecstatic. He's going to a team where he cannot win. And you have Drew Holiday at the point, who can play.
You keep mentioning this Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday can play.
Dude,
Drew Holiday can play.
man, I'm not seeing the vision. I'm not seeing the future with this team. Yeah, it's cool that he teamed up with his old former teammate. They won a championship together in college. But I'm not seeing them getting past. I mean, they're still like, what, 6? At best, they're still 6 in the West. The West is two-packed. Look, you got the Warriors, Clippers, the Houston Rockets. Did I say the San Antonio Spurs? Oh, yeah, the San Antonio Spurs. Did I forget to mention the quietly kept Memphis Grizzlies?
I'm not saying it's going to happen this year.
It's not going to happen ever.
I'm saying it's not going to happen this year.
It's not going to happen ever.
Drew Holiday for just a...
Did I forget to say Oklahoma
17
City?
points a game.
Oklahoma City's still in the running.
Oklahoma City ain't in the running for nothing.
They're still in the running.
They're going to get bounced in the first round. Russell Westbrook's only one person. Victor Oladipo is terrible. And Steven Adams is equally bad.
Dang.
This isn't last year. Look, New Orleans is 11th.
They're
Not
what?
out of it. They're 11th.
Oh, I thought you said they're a lemon. Because they are a lemon.
They're
Like,
not
you know,
lemons.
you ever heard of that? Like a lemon?
DeMarcus Cousins is happy to
Purchasing
be in
the
New
lemon.
Orleans. Anthony Davis is happy. As he stated, DeMarcus, we get Boogie. Everything's great now. This has been the best weekend because he knows that he just got help. They're both averaging close to 20 a game. Boogie's averaging 10 rebounds. Anthony Davis averaging like 11 rebounds a game. I mean, 4 assists and 2 assists. I mean, they can play. They can both shoot from the outside.
So at
They're
best,
going to-
they're still going to be 6 in the West.
At best, they make the playoffs. They're not going to be 6 in the West. I'm saying right now, they're going to make the playoffs this year. I'm going to say it right now.
They're going to be out the first round, though.
They're still going to make... OKC ain't going to make the playoffs this year.
OKC will make the playoffs.
No.
And if they don't, then the young Phoenix team will.
Phoenix
and
is
if
terrible.
they don't,
Who's
the young
Phoenix got?
Lakers
Devin
team will.
Booker, that's it.
The young Lakers team, then.
I heard Stephen A. Smith say earlier, let's see what you guys think, that if Cousins would have went to the Wizards,
That would have been better.
do they take out the Cavs in the Eastern Conference? Or
No, they probably...
Boston?
If he would have went to the Wizards, which I hate talking about if he would have, could have, should have. If he would have went to the Wizards, it would have been a better combination because you got John Wall, which is a guard, and then you got your big man, DeMarcus Cousins. So
Don't forget about Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah, and then you got Bradley Beal. That would have been a way better setup. But now you go to a player that's almost playing the same position as you. I mean, how much effective can you be?
Anthony Davis can play any position.
Oh my gosh, no, he can't.
Yeah, he can.
Well, he's not playing.
He
every
does
position.
play any position. He dribbles like a guard, shoots like a guard.
That's what they say.
He's done it.
But he's
Am
not.
I the only one that watched the All-Star game?
He can't be
The dude
Really?
showcased every skill he had.
the All-Star
The
game.
All-Star game?
52
Where
points.
where they play defense laying down on the other side of the field, the court.
If he's averaging 28 a game in a regular season, and they're winning
The
with,
All-Star game
with
was a
11 rebounds a game, 28 and 11 a game, he's an MVP leader right now. If they're winning. And then you give him DeMarcus Cousins, who's literally averaging a rebound less and like 0.4 points less, and you put him on the same team.
Still no guard play.
That's literally, you're guaranteed at least 80 a game.
What's that, B-Man?
Still no guard play. They can't get out of the West. They
Drew
won't get to the
Holiday
playoffs.
is averaging 17 points a game.
Drew Holiday compared to the Currys, the Lillards, the Kyries, no.
Nope.
Look, I'm not
Even the
saying
old
that
school
they're gonna
Parker-
win the finals. I'm saying they're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying that
I'm saying they're gonna be 8th seed and still get bumped every year. So DeMarcus Cousins just went from not playing in the playoffs to playing first round playoffs. That's great.
is it better than not playing in the playoffs ever?
I don't know.
I
Look what
think that-
Kevin Love did. It took
But-
him forever, and then he
Here
still
is the orbital period.
what? He still didn't even surprise me. But
DeMarcus Cousins doesn't resign. He'll probably go somewhere else.
which would probably be a better idea. All right, moving right along. Let's go talk about Melo's comments with he might be happy to play for my Los Angeles Lakers or the Los Angeles Clippers.
So he just wants to go make money. Because Boston,
You know, Melo's always been about money. That's why he went to. That's why he went to New York in the first place.
Because no one wants to play for the Clippers. They don't
The
win.
Clippers are good.
Clippers won't win.
They're not going to win anything.
Clippers are probably gonna be 4th in the West.
Clippers are going to get bounced in like the first round, like every year.
They'll probably be 4th in the West.
And get bounced in the first round, like they do every year.
No, they won't.
Clippers are trash. If you're Melo, you don't want to go to the Lakers because you don't want to rebuild. You're too old.
But they got the money.
So does Boston. Boston got money. Cleveland got money now.
Who wants to play in Boston?
I want to play in Boston. I'll play with any team that wants to
Yeah,
sign
of
me.
course,
Shout
but-
out to my 10-day contract. No, what I'm saying, though, is I think that you don't want to go play for the Lakers if you're Carmelo because you're too old.
You said Melo is too old?
For a team to build around, Melo's too old.
Dang. I think
Isn't he older than LeBron by like 2 years?
something like that.
And LeBron's what, 32, 31? Yeah, you don't want to build around a 33-year-old Carmelo Anthony.
Well, he's not building around. He's adding on
To who?
to the Lakers. I mean,
To
you got
who?
Lou Deng, you got Nick Young,
Got Brandon
you got
Ingram.
You got
Brandon Ingram,
you got Scrub. You got Scrub. You
Got
got
a rookie.
you got
you got a rookie.
Julius Randle,
You
got
got
Lou
Scrub.
Deng, you got
You got a
some.
washed out Scrub.
You got
Luol
some-
Deng is not good.
you got some
just take
pieces.
him out the equation.
No. Here's Lou Deng is a role player, and he
Yeah.
plays his role,
His role
pretty
is the
damn
bench
well.
because he's a scrub.
He plays his role pretty damn well.
Luol Deng was a starter for like 5 minutes this year, and then he got benched for Brandon Ingram.
Of course, Brandon Ingram is the up and coming.
Brandon Ingram is like second to last in PER rating.
He's a rookie, man.
He's terrible, man.
He's probably one of the better rookies out there right now.
Let's compare number 2 picks in the draft. Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant. Who was better in their rookie year? Not Brandon Ingram.
I don't know.
Kevin Durant.
I'm assuming Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant's a superstar. He's always been a superstar.
All I'm saying is you don't send him to the Lakers if you're his agent. You just don't let him do it.
He has family. He has a house in L.A. I don't know if you know his. I think his wife is from there.
What do you think, B? Clippers, Lakers. Let's throw the Celtics in there.
Celtics.
They were talked about. Isaiah Thomas.
Like Big Griff said, Melo's all about the money. So if you don't want to win, I know he might in his mind he wants to win championships, but if he wants to go LA, build around against the 33-year-old and bunch around young talent, let him go to LA.
I think he cries if he goes to the Lakers. Phil Jackson will screw him. And Jeannie Buss.
I think it would be a good deal for him to go to the Lakers.
I think that he should go play for the Celtics or the Cavs.
All right, moving right along.
That's
So,
another topic for another day.
what just happened over this weekend? We had the slam dunk contest. We had the NBA All-Star game. We had the NBA Challenge, 3-point contest. You guys, give me some feedback on what you thought about the whole All-Star weekend this year.
It was an All-Star weekend this weekend.
Right, exactly.
Y'all are haters, man. Look, the dunk contest was lit. Glenn Robinson III. Nah, I'm just playing. That was terrible.
I was gonna say this has been the worst slam
It's the
dunk
worst
contest.
dunk contest I've ever seen in my 23 years of life. That was everyone's career that participated in the dunk contest exploding.
I think they should all. I think they should scrap it for a couple years.
I think that they should scrap it permanently until they get another Michael Jordan or
No.
Clyde Drexler or someone.
You
Pick
can't
someone.
scrap it. Don't scrap it permanently, but it's hard to say.
Can we talk about how LeBron isn't in it ever?
LeBron's too old now.
His head was above the rim in a couple of those dunks.
Yeah,
He's
but
not too old.
you're gonna dunk in the game when you're warmed up and you dunk when you want to dunk, compared to being in a dunk contest and you're like, all right, I gotta get
I
loose.
swear, the way it's going, Steph Curry is gonna be in the contest next year.
No, he should be in a 3-point contest.
Yeah, he said no.
Exactly.
Klay Thompson, disappointment in the 3-point contest.
Choke in the 3-point contest.
Right.
This year.
Ooh, choked.
Choke artist. Just like the Warriors blowing that 3-1 lead. It's typical Warriors choking in the
Dang.
clutch.
It's not good.
My man Kyrie should have won it.
Who won it?
Eric Gordon.
Shout out to Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon, you still trash.
Is
man.
he a better player?
No.
Better shooter?
No. Better shooter.
Shooter.
So he was just hot?
Yeah. Well, he played in New Orleans. He knew the rims.
He had all the money balls.
And he hit all the money balls.
Did he?
Yeah.
So maybe he is a better shooter.
No. He's a better shooter, not a better player.
He's a better shooter than Klay Thompson?
He's a better shooter than Kyrie Irving.
Not than Klay Thompson.
Klay
No.
Thompson just blew a 3-1 lead again.
I would say, I don't know. I was very disappointed in this whole All-Star weekend. It didn't impress me. The dunks were terrible. Everybody was missing dunks and doing like normal stuff. And then I only seen highlights too.
All right.
So I can't
All right.
really go off the whole thing.
The one thing I liked was that Craig Sager shout out, where there was like $500,000 for the Sager Strong Foundation.
Oh, okay.
That was cool.
That's a
If
good
you haven't
deal.
seen that highlight, go watch the highlight. That could be our positive things for the day too.
I'll check that out.
You should.
So during our show, we always do a positive message in the middle of the show or towards the end of the show, and always bring some positive light to what's going on out in the world. And as you just mentioned,
That should be it. Yeah, that was really cool.
there's a shout out about
The Craig Sager Strong Foundation or Sager Strong Foundation, the All-Star game. Basically, every 3-pointer made, $100,000 was donated, and that was in the middle after the 3-point contest. They brought everyone back out. Then you had people like Anthony Anderson, James Harden came out from the stands, Reggie Miller came out from the stands.
Oh, okay, I did
They
see a
all
picture
shot.
of that.
Yeah, they were all shooting every 3 made, and then what they did is they matched up to like 500,000 was raised because they extended it. So I think they had Craig Sager's son
Wow.
shoot a shot, and Shaq held him up to the rim, and he shot it, and it went in. So they put up to 500,000.
That's awesome, man.
So
That's really awesome.
$500,000 to the Sager Strong Foundation. That's the one thing the All-Star Weekend did right. And I really like the tribute to the how they introduced the All-Stars with the Roots. Shout out to the Roots because that was cool.
That's what's up, man. Cool, cool. Well, it's about that time. I'm going to wrap up this show. It's been great. We appreciate everyone for checking us out. Listen again with us next time. And B, you have a blog. Let us know what your blog is so we can all check it out, you know.
Hey, follow my blog. It's rincon2011.blogspot.com.
How do you spell Rincon though?
Rincon, RINCON.
Go check it out.
Cool, cool. Also, hit us up anytime at hotmicpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Tell us if you got any ideas, comments. We'd love to hear from you. It's been real. Thanks for checking us out. Peace out from Big Griff.
Peace out, y'all. Enjoy your week.
Peace out. It's your boy B.
All right. Yeah. It's the Hot Mic Podcast, baby.
Woo woo.